Joining me now from Lviv in western Ukraine is Oleksandr. We're withholding his last name for his security. His hometown is Kiev. It's currently being bombarded by Russian forces as we speak. But Oleksandr managed to flee the city less than 24 hours ago. Oleksandr, thanks for joining us. Good to speak to you. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak about the current situation. Well, it's a really difficult time for all over Ukraine, but to be honest, we're all united to defend our state and to protect our freedom, rights, and our land as well. Me personally and my girlfriend today, we're trying to do as much as possible voluntary help for the people in Lviv. We signed for the blood donation and tried to buy as much as possible goods and stuff for the civilians who reached to the Lviv, and for the soldiers who also preparing for protecting Lviv, like a territorial defense units. Yeah, well, it's really hard to explain the feelings because Wednesday evening was such a nice and a peaceful time, and then Thursday morning was such a terrible. It's such a nightmare. You couldn't imagine this being a reality. The first couple of hours was just like, well, it might be a nightmare. It shouldn't be like this. So many people calling me saying, "Have you seen the videos? Have you seen that? Have you done?" And a first day, I would say, me and my girlfriend, we spent in bomb shelter first night, and we decided, well, when that we need to kind of move as quick as possible. But for me personally, I'm saying I'm not going to leave my country. I want to make sure that my loved one is safe, and I will be able to protect my state and help my
You're going to be staying in your country. We know that you've left Kiev. Tell us why you left, and tell us how the last 24 hours has been for you since leaving your hometown.
Well, I have to tell that Kiev is a very important city for me, and it's not a hometown, but it's still a very important city for me, and explain why and how. When your street bombarded with the missiles, you understand that you have to protect the people who are around you, and one of the ways to protect was actually move as quick as possible, and ask a specific. I mean, I can explain situation in train station. So many people there. They all trying to move. They all trying to save. So many people trying to move their loved one as far as possible from a battlefield, so they can be sure that they're safe. Mm-hmm. But I know for sure that men who are around my environment are not leaving the country. They're staying here. So we are all trying to reach out that the West going to react and support Ukraine in this really difficult time, because me personally, as a student of history and international relations at Oxford Brookes University, we all been studying examples of the Second World War, and world need to react on this aggression. We have a history. We do know what to do. So let's not stay away. West need to react, and they do.
Oleksandr, you say the West needs to react. I want to get your thoughts. I mean, do you feel that the steps that have taken so far, that they're saying they're going to take, do they give you some sort of comfort?
Listen, it is comfort, but sanctions is a very good way to stop Russia, and it was a very good way in a diplomatic field yesterday. It is a good way to stop them today, but I personally think that this aggression need to be stopped by the presence of the Western military here in Ukraine to show the aggressor that Ukraine not standing alone. Whole world protect Ukraine, because right now Ukraine is not just protecting their territory; they are protecting our soldiers and our people with all of their unity, protecting not just their territory but the international law, which all the West signed for. You know, we here protecting and showing importance of international values of the civilized world. And we need West to be here to show aggressor that it's not, it's impossible to accept such behavior in international level.
Okay, I mean, you say as a student of history, someone who's studying international relations, the president has said on numerous occasions that we will continue supporting Ukraine, but we're not going to be sending troops on the ground. We're not going to be sending boots in. Do you have any hope that he might be changing his mind?
Well, it's already changing, because the voluntary movement of people from the West, especially from UK, and the voluntary organizations who's going to join Ukrainian army on the side of the Ukrainian army is already going to be, as soon as, I mean, it's been introduced in the news, that the voluntary movement of Western soldiers and people who want to protect and fight together with the Ukrainian soldiers are going to be soon here. So it is a kind of a good news for Ukrainian people. Well, it's a good news because for us, we see that we're not alone. We're fighting right now. Our soldiers are fighting, and we're succeeding. We do hit really deeply our enemy, and they do have lots of losses. But we need to show for them that we're not alone. Sanctions very good again. Support is very important. It is very important because right now it's not just war. It's an international violation of international law. You know, that's not acceptable in Europe, in the middle of Europe. How come?
Yeah.
How come this can be acceptable?
And that is a question.
We've been trying.
Yeah.
We've been trying to build this kind of society since World War II. This is what I've been studying in my university since the first year in international relations and in history. This is all mistakes which have been done. So how come we have to repeat it? No way.
Oleksandr, when we're reporting on the current conflict, I mean, everyone can clearly see the immense unity amongst the Ukrainian people. You briefly mentioned some of the things that you were doing. Talk to us about what you're talking with your fellow Ukrainians, how you're trying to mobilize, how you're trying to keep this feeling of unity as strong as possible.
Well, first of all, trying to use social media and trying to use official resources, because there's so many misinformation right now, and such social platforms like Telegram. There's so many misinformation from Russian side saying that the Ukrainian forces withdrawing or retreating. That's not true. Every city is under control and under Ukrainian flag. Personally, I'm trying to send as much as possible information from my social media, supporting and reaching out to my friends in UK, US, Canada, as much as possible to spread this information, spread what's happening in Ukraine, so people can see. So people in Europe already went to meetings. Today was a meeting in Prague. 60,000 people went out to protesting to support Ukraine against Russian aggression, and I think it's very important.
Do you feel that it's easy to actually sift through this misinformation on these social media platforms to sort of keep your morale high? Because if you sort of read through everything, it can be, or it's depressing.
It is very depressing, because as soon as you, well, I know some cases where people were trying to read fake Telegram chats, where the people trying to spread information from the Russian side, and the morality obviously going down, but we're trying to block the chats. We're trying to spread information that you don't follow this chat as fake one, follow the official one. spread the information about Ukraine to another countries, to another people. I spread information through my friends in university, so they can spread it to as much as possible.
Okay. Oleksandr, I really want to thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. It was a pleasure listening to your story. Please do stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.